Revelator John.
Hello Revelators, this is Revelator John on YouTube. Just wanted to talk a little bit about supporting your team and also sometimes I get asked questions about supporting other teams or cheering on other teams, and I suppose what's really sort of prompted this video is that I saw online just now, one of our supporters, would you believe, a West Ham supporter, cheering on another team that have just scored. And I just didn't quite understand that. Well, why would you do that? Why would you be happy that somebody else has scored from another team? So sometimes I ask, if you didn't support West Ham, who would you support? And I'd be like, well, I don't. I wouldn't support anybody else because I can't even think about anybody else but West Ham. So why would I even consider supporting them? And there are lots of teams out there I hate, for lots of different reasons. Their history, their players or whatever. There are lots of teams out there that I'm, admire the way they play football, but most of the time I'm just indifferent to any of the team. I just don't care about their history. I don't care about, if they do well, if they don't do well. It doesn't bother me. If I see a great goal scored, or if I'm at a match or a neutral match or something like that, I see great passage of play, whatever. I'd admire it. I'll, clap it, applaud it. But I won't be cheering on any other team, especially, if they're anywhere near the same league or in contention, with us. I might, raise a small smile if one of the teams around us gets beat, or a goal gets scored against them, or a team that I particularly despise, gets beat. But I won't be cheering, either way. It doesn't really, affect me. I only support West Ham, and that's it. I would never support any other team. I don't have a second team. I don't have anything like that. So I don't know. Just don't understand the psychology why you would be cheering on another team. You only support your team, and that's it. So I suppose that's one thing. And I think if you're a fan of whatever club that you support, then you support that club, don't you? You don't really start. I don't know. Maybe I'm always interested in other teams that I love football. I'm a purist. I'm a purist at heart, as I say. So I love all sorts of football, watching all sorts of games, all sorts of highlights, seeing how other teams are playing and how other teams are setting up. And I love the tactical side of it, the technical side of football as well. I always have done. I love to watch, listen to commentary and the pundits and everything. Don't always agree with them. Actually, most of the time I don't agree with them. But it's good to have, an ex-pro's opinion on something as well. But it's most of the time I'm watching these other games, especially if they're in the same league as us, because I'm doing sort of research. I'm researching if they're, what kind of opposition they're going to be for us. What kind of form are they going to be? What their strengths and weaknesses. How could we, try and beat them? Or if they have beaten us in the past, how could we, prevent a repeat of that? So, watching the game, just like today, I was watching Arsenal against Southampton. I was working out, where the strengths and weaknesses are. Because we're playing them on Wednesday. How could we actually, formulate a tactical plan, to, go against them. So that, watching other teams and watching other games, I've gone to see, I've got tickets for matches, like championship matches before, because some of our players have been on loan there. So been on loan, and I actually wanted to go and see, what they'd be like. So, it's all well and good, getting reports of so and so's done well, Reece Oxford's done this, or or whoever's done that. But actually, until you actually go and see them yourself, you don't really know. Unless you can get highlights on TV somewhere, and then you actually get to see them play. So, that's why. I'll go and watch other matches. I'll go and see other things. But about cheering on another team, I just don't get it. Especially if on and I know there's so many people online and so many on the social media stuff, and I'm not a great social media kind of person anyway. But and maybe people say things that they don't mean, or they don't really mean in a certain way, but it comes across in a particular way, and I think, well, what the hell's all that about? You only support one team. You only cheer on one team, and you're only happy, you know, when one team wins, or really piss off when your team. You're only happy when your team wins, and you're only really pissed off when your team loses, already gives a poor performance. You know, all that kind of stuff. You know, as I say, you know, I'm, you know, despise some teams. I'm kind of mostly indifferent to every other team. I just don't care. I just don't. I'm not really. You know, I'm interested to see if they've won or lost. You know, but in terms of form, in terms of the table, but really, I'm only concentrating on us. And I think, you know, from our manager's point of view and our trainer staff point of view, coaching staff point of view, actually and our players, that's all they should be concentrating on as well. They should only be concentrating on West Ham and how they're playing, you know, and also how the other teams are playing and what kind of opposition they're going to be. You know, one game at a time. That's all we got to, you know, look at. And as a fan, I say I don't. You know, if another team around us loses, then I'll be like, yes, that's really good. You know, or if another, you know, team, scores against us, I'll be like, oh yeah, but I'm not, you know, I don't cheer. I'm not a cheerer, you know, for any other team. As I say, the only team I'll get really passionate about is my team, and that's, you know, West Ham. So anyway, I just sort of saw it online today, and I thought I'd just raise it because it was you know, something that ticked me off. Well, not ticked me off, that's probably the wrong thing to say, but just got really puzzled by it. I thought, well, why would you support one team and go and cheer on another team? That makes sense to me. But anyway, there you go. So, and there's another big second part to this point, I suppose. It's about tourist fans who are not really fans of, you know, the club that, you know, you want to support. They just want to get a season ticket or whatever, just to go, you know, so they can watch Premiership football or stuff like that. You know, so, you know, that's something else that really, you know, does my head in, really. You know, if I'm going to buy a ticket, I really want to go and buy a ticket to go or if I want to be a season ticket holder or buy a ticket, I really want to see it my team, not somebody else's team. You know, first and foremost. But, you know, I can understand getting a ticket to go and see a neutral match, you know, and I say only for the reason that I said, you know, for doing a bit of background research, you know, sort of if it's a local team or something like that, you want to see some, you know, local football, whatever, fine, you know, I do that myself. But I would never be a season ticket holder of a team that I don't support. Why would you do that? Anyway, right, so there's me. That's my opinion. Just mildly ticked off on a Sunday afternoon. But as I said, you know, been doing a bit of research today. You know, watched Arsenal, you know, draw. You know, they got some frailties I think we can expose. So, you know, onwards Wednesday. Up the Hammers.